Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Now, this week was obviously very interesting when you're talking about conditions. We had that atmospheric river that came in, and it really did a number, 5 or 6 days of just pure rain, which for me just had me, literally dying inside, unfortunately. But it was just a very busy week with stuff for the show and family things going on. It was just impossible for me to get out except for Thursday. But when we get to the river levels, we'll talk about what actually happened. But it was certainly an event, right? And things turned over quickly. But again, we're going to show you what actually is going to happen here, at least what they're forecasting in the next handful of days. So if you were, right on that edge of getting ready to go out and try to chase some winter steelhead around, you're going to probably have to wait just a little longer, probably not too much longer, though, to get out there and chase them around. I was looking at my phone last week, and I know that I mentioned that I did get my first steelhead of the year in December. It was the 20th. So there are some things to be excited about. These conditions are going to play into it pretty well, I think. But I'm still stuck on duck hunting. And for me, I like to be in a boat. I like to cover different areas from the Coast Range to, as far over east as you can go, and utilize the boat. Well, it takes water, and we finally had water. We had 5 days of it. It has since started to drop out, but looks like we might get a little bit of bump in that water. But the one day that I actually got out to really do what I truly love to do, the way that I like to hunt, it was actually kind of successful. Didn't hammer them. I ended up one bird short, but I actually got into a group of wood ducks. Now, this is the first group that I've even seen this year. Not unfortunately, I guess, maybe fortunately for them, but did actually have a group of wood ducks come into the spread for me, which was, again, a surprise, and 2 drakes just had to come home with me. Eva hates it when I do that, but you can see a couple of beautiful wood duck drakes, a beautiful I actually had one person tell me that this was a storm widgeon, and I was kind of giggling at him, but at the very least, widgeon, a couple of mallards. I actually did get one more widgeon after this, so I ended up one bird short for that Thursday hunt. And the craziest part about that is I had 3 hours to hunt, but I had 3 hours in really good, wow, I love that with that big, look at that, is so cool. I had 3 hours in just about the perfect time frame, and I was able to I could have got it done. I actually had to leave a little bit early before shoot time was over. We had a Christmas party that we had to be at, which was fun. But at the very least, it was just nice to get out. It was nice to be in those kind of conditions. Unfortunately, it's not going to last. Those water conditions are going to fall. We'll show you those. Actually, let's just show you now. With what these river conditions are going to do. Now, all those rivers along the coast and inland did exactly what they were saying. My home river bounced up to 18, just short of the action. And it looks like it's going to do it again. It's supposed to get up to that 17.7, and it'll all kind of depend on how cold it really gets. But it is going to bounce back up again, so you're going to see that, just high water event happen. When it comes back around, though, what you saw on that previous slide, or here we go again, next weekend, depending on what Katie says is going to happen, because she's been absolutely accurate with this in the last couple of weeks, you're not looking too far away from where you can actually say that you're chasing winter steelhead and not just going fishing. Here you go, along the coast, same thing, exact barometer for all of them up and down, especially the north coast, down into still a lot of water in this particular river, but it's going to explode one more time starting Sunday. Tomorrow, looks like Monday, it drops really, really quickly. I actually had somebody tell me that this is a dog tooth in the forecast. I actually hadn't heard that one before. Interesting, but that's when it goes vertical and it comes right back down. Same thing a little bit further south on the Silettes. Same appearance. We'll take a look at Foss there on the Nehalem here in a second, but Alcee looking to be the same. And then once you bounce back a little bit, you get a pretty significant bounce, actually quite a bit more than what we just had a couple of days ago. So it's interesting how all that's going to play out, but this is all good stuff. These are things where if you're spending time along the coast or any of the inland rivers, you're going to see the rivers get cleaned out, right? Any debris that was there ahead of time, maybe anything that got left behind from that last high water event. But when you get into that next weekend, right, when we're talking about now, exactly 1 week out, It's tough to call it, full-blown winter steelhead season, but they're going to be there. It's that time of year. The conditions should be really, really good. We'll see how things kind of play out, but you can really start to think about getting that winter steelhead on the bank or in the drift boat, whatever it might be. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but we'll get there later on in the show. So certainly some good things to look forward to if you're jonesing for some winter steelhead. And I'm not there yet. I'm close. After that interview with Cameron this past week, we got a lot of response from that folks going, oh my God, I want to go steelhead fishing. Well, it's on our doorstep. It's not that far away. All right, now we do have a phone call that's coming in. We're going to get to that in a second, but we do have a reminder for you. There's a CCA meeting that's coming up. I would highly recommend that if you are not a member of the CCA yet, why? I mean, seriously, why? If you're curious as to why, go to one of these meetings. If you're over in Southwest Washington, here you go. You can meet Patrick Linkenheimer. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. If I get that wrong, I truly apologize. He's with Deadly Venom Tackle, interesting name, but it will be an interesting interview and an obvious opportunity to meet other folks from the CCA. Trust me, look at what these crazy people have done to Green Peter and some of our other opportunities. We have to have a voice. We have to have a way to counteract some of the stuff that's going on out there. I mean, there's literally groups out there, everyone that's trying to eliminate and destroy our fisheries. Not try to make them any better. They're literally trying to destroy them, and the CCA is right in the middle of fighting against that. So please look into that. Also, send a message to Jason over at Procure. You might have a chance to win. I actually have a sample, but not a sample. I have this pack here. Might have to swoop that once that steelhead season starts, because it's all the pieces of the puzzle that you need to be successful when you get out there to target some steelhead. Let's talk to Ruth. Ruth is from Longview. Before we get to Katie Sneega here in just a couple of minutes, Ruth has got a question about line counter reels. Ruth, what can we help with?
Oh, it's Bruce, not Ruth, but go
Bruce.
ahead.
Bruce, excuse me. All right. Ryan, you got me, man. You got me. What's going on, bud? I'm sorry.
I was wanting your opinion on line counters. Is it easy to take apart and try to repair? It's sticking? Or just get a new one and replace the little compartment there?
Well, it depends. What manufacturer?
Low profile, yes. Okuma.
Okuma. Well, first thing I would say is Okuma is arguably the best warranty on the market.
Correct.
It's actually, I would actually go as far to say that Okuma has the best warranty of all, okay? So you can actually send that in, they'll repair it or replace it for you, and they'll ship it right back to your front door. They are really, really good about it, and they're actually kind of timely as well. So on that note, since it's an Okuma product, I would kind of look there. Secondly, there are places that you can send it to have it repaired. As a matter of fact, I think Ryan has a couple of phone numbers back there somewhere. Ryan, do you have them? Other than that, if you really wanted to take it apart, I think the problem you're going to run into is that if you found a part that's broken, to try to find that part to replace it with may very well be impossible. So again, understanding that it's an Okuma, is it the cold water, is it the low profile or the original round one?
Low profile.
I would first off, Monday morning, I would call or send an email to Okuma. They're really, I know that it's, well, I guess they're not a sponsor anymore. So I'm not, I'm just saying that they have a very, very good warranty, and they've been known for that for a long time. So don't be surprised if they get you hooked up right away.
Thank you very much, Owen.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir. Be safe, okay? It really is. It's simple for me to say that. It's kind of awkward. Ryan, is that awkward? Well, I guess not for you. Never mind. For me, it's kind of awkward. Anyway, let's go ahead and check in with Katie Sneega and find out what this weather's going to do. Now, you were absolutely spot on this week, by the way. I was unable to get out and really enjoy it the way I wanted to, but I'm looking at it every day, just crying inside, and you hit it exactly right. But it looks like it's going to happen again.
No, it is. It's just not going to be as warm and not as wet. That's the key message for you for today with what we're about to see. But what we also are going to see again is all of this beautiful snow that we've had fall over the last day or so. That is all going to go away because the snow level levels are going up, and we're expecting it to melt it again later tonight into tomorrow. We might get another inch or two on top of that before it starts to melt. Looks like it might be raining there. Looks like I'm trying to see if it's wet down on those walkways. Here's what we got for the month. You can see we've had 8 straight days, but 7 of those days for the month of December have accumulated to 5.63 inches. Now, I don't have the graphic up here, but that is only 3/100th of an inch away from the all-time record for the wettest first week of the month. We only missed it by 3/100th of an inch. This is that second atmospheric river that we're talking about, but you'll notice, if you remember, it was not as intense, not quite as dark of a red that's in there, and it already starts to break down as we go through the day. We have some shifts happening in our upper level where we'll start to see some high pressure, and that will break off our connection to that atmospheric river and dry us up. And that's what we're seeing here. That snow I was talking about on the Cascades, this is around 10 o'clock or so, and then once we get into the afternoon, it turns into rain, and you see those showers, and that stays with us all the way through tomorrow afternoon. Depending on what model you're looking at, some have us done as early as 11 and some take us into the evening. Then after that, take a look. You'll see things drying up and clearing up for us because we are headed to dry time. Exactly how much will we get? Well, we're looking at it just accumulating to about, that looks like right around that up to 2 inches, maybe an inch or so in the valley. Will depend on where you are. Looking ahead on the 7-day, warmer through Sunday, Monday. That's the atmospheric river impact there. And then we get back to Tuesday, and those temperatures are average. And at this point, maybe Wednesday into Thursday, some light showers, but that's about it for the rest of this extended forecast.
Well, it looks good. I mean, we're going to get a little bit of rain today. Is that actually going to happen? Are we going to have some rain and some wind late morning going in the afternoon?
Yeah, it's supposed to be starting to accumulate right around 11 o'clock. But the thing is that's it for a while. So the snow that melts away, like, there's not going to be any new snow for next weekend, for the Cascades, for any of that. But the river levels, as you saw, and I've been tracking those as well, going back up but then dropping off just as quick.
Well, at least I'm not a skier. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to have a lot of snow up there, does it?
Nope. They're opening today, and then it'll be gone by tomorrow, most likely.
That's unfortunate. Thank you, Kitty. We'll see you in the morning. Thank you very much for the info. We appreciate it as always. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, cross your fingers that all the technology works. We're going to have Austin Mosier from Austin's Northwest Adventures. He is over on the east side of Washington chasing trophy trout. And I don't mean just trout. Or trout. I mean trout. It's amazing. We'll show you that when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.